We're going to touch on the commercial side of things as well, how you get paid, how those partnerships are kind of made up. And naturally, we've got lots of time at the end for any questions and answers you may have. And I think it's also worth noting at this point, if you're not happy in a kind of public domain, raising your hand to ask a question, totally cool. Just reach out to us on an email, and we'll happily deal with your question on a one-on-one basis.
So to start off, you guys have him here, the myth, the legend. Andrew was in his late 20s 6 years ago when he was a serial entrepreneur. Just to give you an idea, in college, he started a ticketing company for the students of his college. And Hamid was just 22 at the time, and he was really a genius in the dev world. He was fielding options for jobs at Google or Facebook, etc. And essentially what happened is Hamid was looking for a hotel near a convention. He was going to a gaming convention, and he was just bewildered with how many times he had to re-enter the same information, such as the location of the convention, or Googling the distance between the hotel and the convention. And so he kind of started playing around with ideas, and this is what came up. He decided to post this to Reddit and ask the followers to tell him what their thoughts on the map was. And this is what our map at Stay22 eventually turned into.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Gabby. So absolutely, there was no solution back in the day to aggregate all of those different options from hotels and rental providers in one place. Hamid found that he was opening, multiple different tabs from multiple different providers. He was then cross-referencing all of that information into Google to see how far away it was to the actual location for the LAN tournament that he was attending. So the map, it's an interactive map, bringing everything together from a range of providers with really useful information for the user. It's lazy loaded, there's nominal impact for page speed, and not only will it help the user, but it will give you as content creators and bloggers the ability to add points of interest on there. So your article might be talking about a 3-day itinerary in Paris, for example. You might be talking about specific restaurants or sites you must see. You can even add those in with unique bookable, clickable URLs as well if you want. So it's not just a map-based accommodation tool, but a lot of our content creators actually use it as a communication tool to wrap a lot of that content up together in one space. So yeah, we've come a long way since then. It's still our core product at Stay22. We're very proud of it, but there's lots of other things to talk about today as well.
And so armed with a product, Hamid and Andrew then spent the following 3 weeks in Denver programming the company. They also spent extensive time at the Travelport Incubator, where some of the biggest travel tech companies started, and they got to learn how to work, what to give, what to embrace, and what to improve. And now we have Stay22 and our mission.
Absolutely. So, this is our mission at Stay22, and it's very simply to help our partners monetize the travel intent of their user base and to maximize that.
And the vision is to be the leading travel solution, showing users the right content the right way at the right time. And that led to one of our products being the deep links.
Absolutely. So as I said, previously I joined amongst the pandemic. We were only in ticketing and events space back then. And, we didn't have the deep link product. Now, back in August 2020, we had our map as the only product, and we only had a handful of bloggers using our services in full transparency. And fast forward to March 21, I'm sure it's a month that many of us will never forget, largely thanks to the Airbnb situation. We had lots of people kind of messaging us about deep links, and we needed to understand very quickly what you guys needed so we can help and try and build that out swiftly. And I think this is one of the original messages, one of the first that came through on our live chat by the Stay22 hub, just talking about deep links and how we could really help out the blogging community more. It's also worth noting that actually the live chat in itself via the Stay22 hub, our average response time is 6 minutes. So we are available, we're always accessible. And actually, you know, if there are any partner success members which aren't available at the time, our CEO, Andrew, more than happy and willing to jump in and answer any partner questions or queries, or any problems that they might have, as in this example here. So hundreds, literally hundreds of requests from our partners later. We listened, we built, we tested, and we shipped a deep link solution practically overnight. Our deep links are automatic geolocation domain handling, automatic language and currency handling as well, to ensure that the first time that the user looks at the page, it's in their right language and it's in their right currency. That's really important for not only for UX, but for conversions as well. Now, there's 3 different landing page choices. So detail, i.e. a very specific, if you want to link to a specific hotel or rental, we can do that via a range of providers. We can offer a pinned search results page and a destination search results page via deep links as well. We've got unrestricted campaign ID facility as well. So however granular you kind of want to get on the data, as long as you assign those campaign IDs, and again, we can help you with that, then fully unrestricted. But most importantly, we're protected from ad blockers as well. And certainly with the uptake of ad blockers in the US today, I think along the lines of 60%, it's a very, very important factor to take into consideration.
And now that Al gave you an idea on our deep links, which are called Allez, and in French that means go, we created the script called Let Me Allez, so let me go. What happened here is that essentially I am stubborn and I want to know how to do things and how you do it. So I was creating deep links just as my predecessors, such as Al, had done so many times to help you guys on board with us. Right. And I started working with a blogger that had 100 links per page. And after a while, I was like, this makes no sense. We're a tech company. Like, can't we have like some type of voodoo magic that will convert all the links automatically? And our CTO took my idea, challenged me to find someone who would accept to run a test, and created a script just as quickly as he created the deep links, because he really believes in this. And so Let Me Allez appeared. What it does is we just understand the pain points. We understand how difficult it is to switch things over. We understand that it could show some resistance, like even if we have qualities that others don't, like, is that enough for you to make the switch or even test it? We also know that tracking deep links can be time consuming, finding where they're located, or even, you know, sometimes you forget to switch some here or there. We also made the script extremely light. It's one of the lightest you'll ever see, and it only activates when a link is actually clicked, so nothing will be changed on your page. And then it takes a few minutes to install. For example, I was at a conference recently. I did the integration myself on a website during a speed networking, which was 5 minutes long, and it worked. And I had little to no abilities in dev work. And then, for example, one of the wonderful things of this script is that it'll find and track your 404s or your broken links. So say a property is no longer available on an OTA, the script will track it. It'll redirect this link to either a different OTA with the same hotel, or if it cannot find the hotel anywhere, it will send the link to the destination of your article on the prior OTA. And obviously, we understand that you may want to keep certain partnerships, so you can choose which providers you add to the script, enable, disable, etc. I'm just admitting someone into the room. And then what do we support? I know this is really important to you. So we do booking to booking, hotels combined to booking, because it's the same API, and machine learning showed us that this might be the best one. Verbo to Verbo, including their sister companies such as Habitel and Book a Book, and Expedia to Expedia, hotels.com to hotels.com. And most importantly, cookies. Booking.com is obviously same session cookie, and all the other OTAs vary between 7 and 14 days. If you need more information, I suggest you reach out to Al or myself. We're going to share our emails with you at the end. And then the nitty-gritty of Let Me Allez. It does not permanently change your deep links. It only covers it. So if you're not satisfied with our service or you run into any issues, which we want to be able to protect yourselves as much as we want to keep you, you can remove it and your links will remain in their original form. The next thing is that it supports your previous campaign IDs. So whatever format you originally had, the script will pick it up. And when you get a booking, it'll show up as that in our hub. It also inserts automatically new ones. So if you don't have a campaign ID active on one of your links, it'll grab the ID of, for example, the title of your article or the destination of your article. And then again, you'll see it in the hub. Just like all the other deep links, Allez, it is not blocked from ad blockers. So you're looking at an advantage on your conversions right there. So people can click on it. We all know that 60% of North Americans have an ad block active on their browser. And for those of you who like to have a little edge on your website and cloak your links with your own URL or a pretty link or etc., we're able to go under that layer and convert your links. I just want to note one thing on this though, it won't recloak them for you. It'll remain a Stay22 link, but we can put that in the comments at the end. And then we also are Google Tag enabled, which we understand that some people aren't necessarily tech savvy or they want to be able to track their clicks differently, etc. So the script works with all of this. And then here is a presentation on our bookings hub page.
Absolutely. So, as a forward-leading tech company, we're all about data. We're all about sharing data. Every partner has access to the Stay22 hub. This is where you can review all of your bookings and all of your data as well. And you'll also have access via live chat to our wonderful partner success team. They're on board to ensure a successful partnership. They're there to optimize any kind of integrations which you may have, come up with new ideas for growth, and generally be your go-to for any questions or queries. Unlike some of the others, emails can take days or potentially weeks to be replied to. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we'll try and respond within 6 minutes. That's our service kind of level that we expect. Now, in the hub itself, you'll have full transparency on which provider the booking has come from. So whether it's booking.com, Verbo, Expedia, hotels.com, wherever it may be. You'll have the book date, so the date that the transaction was actually made, and the check-in and the check-out date as well. So obviously length of stay in there. You'll have the commission amount for booking as well. You'll have the insight into which particular hotel or rental that was booked, and any campaign ID information as well. Along with that, user country, device type, and a couple of other factors in there as well. But essentially everything in one place. It's very swift, it's very easy to use. Everything's exportable to a spreadsheet if that's the way you like to work. But again, essentially everything in one place.
And more importantly, you get the data within 24 hours of a booking. So you get to see all of this information almost in real time, sometimes in real time. I don't make promises.
Right. The quickest way to drive you additional revenue today is the LMA pop. This is a graph from one of my blogging partners, a long-standing blogger partner of mine. Wonderful platform and website that they run. Consistently in the summer months, running revenue into their business of $5,000–6,000 US with our solution. We integrated the LMA pop in late August, and by October, as you can see, that partner has generated $26,000 US in commission. Their bookings went from kind of 350 to up to 1,000, and now we're pushing into the kind of dizzy heights of 1,200 bookings a month and more.
And just to make another note, this is the trajectory that we see with all of our partners, big or small, the volume increases.
I think, you know, one of the biggest kind of you know, benefits of Stay22 is that no other accommodation affiliate offers the POP today. Most of our partners have reported a 2.2 to 2.7 times increase on their monthly income. And that's based on real data from all of our partners using the POP today. Now, I know these are really big claims to kind of make, and don't take our word for it. You know, we ask you if you're in any kind of groups or you're connected with any kind of other content creators or bloggers, ask them for honest feedback. You know, we're not perfect, far from it, but we strive for it. And I think reaching out to those guys for an unbiased opinion would be really useful for you. I say there's 100 bloggers using our solution today, and they're using LMA Pop to stay ahead of the game and drive considerably more revenue into their business. So, conversion, it's not just, you know, the amount of dollars per booking. That's an incredibly important factor, an incredibly important metric to stay close to. But it's conversion. Like every partner that I speak to, you know, they tell me the most important metric that they stay close to and they monitor the success of any partnership is the total amount of revenue in per month from, you know, from that provider. And that's what we do really, really well at Stay22.
And just to add on what Al previously said, if you're looking for a word on how we work, ask your friends, ask us to introduce you, but here are a few of the reviews. As you can see, there's words like game changer. It's all about more bookings or how helpful we are or how quick our customer service is. And, you know, most importantly, I don't need to manually change everything. So we just think that this might help you a little. Again, we have numerous bloggers that are willing to vouch for us. So we'd love to hear your feedback as well whenever possible.
Totally. And I think just to add to that, Gabrielle, you know, if there's any bloggers out there that they're not part of groups or they don't know many kind of bloggers in that space, as Gabby said, you know, just reach out to us. We can connect you with some bloggers using our solutions for an unbiased, you know, feedback on our solutions and our service.
Now let's get to the fun part. I'm assuming you guys want to know how we're going to do this. So Al's going to fill you in a bit and then we'll leave you with how to start signing up at Stay22.
Perfect. Thanks, Gabby. So look, one of the most important questions, how do you get hold of your hard-earned cash? So withdrawing your commissions with us is very, very simple. You can withdraw a commission 90 days past the book date. So essentially, if it's booked today, 90 days time, you can withdraw that commission, subject to the minimum thresholds. So for a PayPal transfer, it's $100 US, and for wire transfer, it's 500 USD. Withdrawals are requested directly from the Stay22 hub and processed within 30 days, and you'll receive an invoice along with that as well.
And if you have any issues, you can always reach out to us. But like I said, we're in direct contact with all the teams all across the company. So this should happen very easily for you.
Absolutely. So how it works and how can we offer, you know, what we do? You know, we have 50 million monthly users of our solutions, believe it or not. We're on track this year for 1 billion yearly transactions with all Stay22 products. I think even Hamed and Andrew will admit that, you know, going back to our humble days in 2016, we could never have dreamt of being in the position that we are today. Now, due to our booking volume and long-standing relationships, we have highly competitive strategic partnerships in place with the likes of Booking.com, Vrbo, Expedia, Trivago, Hotels.com, etc. Now, naturally, there's a revenue split with a generous starting point. And the standard commercials are 30% of whatever we receive from our various suppliers. Now, so if you know, register without any kind of communication with any Stay22 employee, 30% is where you will open the partnership with. But we're huge fans of Travel Massive. We know Ian and Maria really, really well. We followed them and their journey and their community for a long, long time. In fact, I think Ian was actually on a podcast of ours a couple of years ago. Like we love those guys, and we think it's a really, you know, positive relationship for everybody. So we'd like to uplift to a 50% commission split for life. And when I say for life, you know, if the booking volume isn't there for a period of time, I mean, God hope there's not another pandemic or, you know, any real impact to your, you know, your bookings. If there is, we're not going to drop you down a tier. We're not going to, you know, drop you down to 30%. You'll be at a flat 50% commission of whatever we receive for life. You'll also have access to our dedicated support from our partner success teams. And I mean, they're wonderful. They are there to help you and support you. And say service levels, 6 minutes via live chat. I think it's unparalleled really in this space. But most importantly, there's no tie-ins. You know, we're incredibly we are incredibly positive about any relationship, any partnership that we enter into. That said, we're not for everybody, and that's okay. And for any reason, if you wanted to part company with Stay22, you know, we'd shake hands, we'd wish you well, and you can walk away and go back to exactly where you were before. No tie-ins, no bureaucracy, no red tape, no messing around. But genuinely, you know, one of the biggest things you can do to increase your revenue today is take advantage of a POP. It really is that powerful. Now, there is a strict sign-up process in place, and that's to ensure that we look after you properly and we give you the service that you deserve, and also the commission split that you deserve. So we're just going to talk through exactly what that process looks like.
So the first step is reaching out to Alastair or myself. So the emails are really, really complicated. It's Al or Gabrielle. Al is AL at stay22.com. And then we'll send you a hub invitation where you'll be able to see all the data and what's going on in your account. You'll be able to create the maps too. And we'll send you an invitation to schedule a call with us where we're going to get to know you, see how you like things done, see how quickly you want to be communicated with, what you dislike, etc. And then obviously exchange a bit on the data and see what we can do to make your life easier on this switch. Once the LMA POP is active on your website and confirmed, we will increase your commission split to 50% as promised. Absolutely. And if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to us by email, and you don't need to register to the hub because we sent you an invitation until we've had the chat too. We understand that you may have a lot more questions.
Absolutely. And just along, you know, the lines of that, just very importantly, you know, must mention Travel Massive. Just take advantage of that. Just we should have put that as a 0.5, but yes, please mention Travel Massive, incredibly important.
And keep in mind, if you want to introduce us to your friends or fellows, feel free to reach out to us, introduce us, mention Travel Massive again, and we'll do our best to honor the same deal.